Hey guys, are you ready to transform your mind so you can transform your life? Coach Mirna brings you one-on-one coaching and expert guests weekly to help you to grow. Because happiness is the progressive realization of a worthy goal.
Looking for personal growth? Let's do it. As we head into fall, I invite you to shop at quince.com for your fall wardrobe update. Quince offers timeless and high-quality fall clothing I adore. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/Myrna for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Welcome back to Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life radio, podcast, and television show. I'm your host, Life Coach Myrna Young, and sitting in the guest chair today is June Edward, author and psychic medium. And today we're going to be talking on the topic, how to change your energy to save your relationships. Listen, relationships are in trouble. And if we can find any little trick and tools that we can use to save relationships, make them happier, make them healthier, then that's what we need to do. So I'm going to be learning right along with you from June on this topic. So I am excited to share this with you. Welcome, June.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. All right, so let me give you guys a brief introduction. June Edward is a platform psychic medium, meaning that she passed to the other side at the age of 27 and came back here by choice. She has worked on missing person cases, as well as consulted with many well-known paranormal groups and authors. An author and teacher of psychic and mediumship development, she created the Relationship Mastery Program, which teaches people how to change their energy, learn their 5 love lessons, repair their relationships, and magnetize anyone or anything into their lives. Yes, love that. We all want to do that. And everybody teaches us in a different way. You know, when I was talking, I remember talking to someone about our twin flame or talking to someone about the law of attraction and relationships and all that. So today, like I said, we're going to understand energy from a psychic. So this is going to be some good information. Now, I am so curious, June, about your story of your near-death experience. Can you share what happened and why you chose to come back?
Sure. So I never considered it a near-death experience. In fact, I'd never even heard the terminology until a few years ago, because I died, literally. And doing a lot of research for a TED Talk, I learned that less than 10% of the people that are lumped into that near-death experience actually die and go to the 5th dimension, which is the lowest level of heaven where I went. Less than 10%, and less than that get a full life review, which I had, and less than that, next to no one gets an option to come back. So I injured my back when I was 22 years old, shortly after I got married, and they wanted to do back surgery. And I knew if I had surgery, I was going to die. I just knew it. And that was my soul giving me a heads up. So I put it off as long as I could. I put it off for 5 years till I didn't have any choice. And I told everybody before I went into the hospital, I said, listen, I'm going to die. And they're like, oh, no, you're fine. You're just scared. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, I know I'm going to die. And they're like, you're going to be fine. They don't want to listen. So the night before my surgery, they did an MRI test with me with a contrast dye, which I told them I thought I was allergic to it. I'd had it once before. I had a really bad reaction to it. And they just kind of shoved it off. Oh, it's normal. Everybody has that reaction. And what do I know? I'm 27 years old. I'm not the doctor. So as soon as they administered it to me, I coded. That was it. And everybody that has a near-death experience or an NDE, everybody has a different experience. Some people see the light. Some people see tunnels. I literally was just taken immediately to the other side. And when I got there, I could see everything that was happening below. I could see everything that was happening with my body. I could hear the nurses talking about it when the crash cart came in from the hallway. I could hear the room in the back of me with the old man that was in there. But I was paying attention to my life review, which was like sitting in the front row of an IMAX theater and watching it play out in front of you. And I'm going through it, and behind me, I heard a voice tell me that it's not really my time. I can go back if I want, or I could stay. It's my choice. And I'm standing there watching this and really considering staying. And, why would I come back? It was just amazing. And then I remembered that I had 2 young children and that they were the biggest reason that I came here this time to begin with. And then they brought me the biggest joy in my life. And as soon as I decided I was going to come back, I was back in my body instantly. And when you think of quantum physics, because everything is energy, the speed of light is 160,000 miles a second. That's how fast my soul was traveling when it left and when it came back in my body. So when we talk about energy, we talk about frequency, we talk about vibration. It's all just different terminology for the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Story. So you didn't even get to the surgery. You
hadn't even gotten the surgery yet. Nope.
Surgery yet. Well, it's very interesting because I also have that same allergic reaction to contrast dye, right? I was doing surgery at one point in time and they put that contrast dye in and I couldn't breathe. Now I didn't, they were able to fix that. However they did. But
like any allergy, you have to be exposed to something first. So I wear medical literate, and I would recommend that you do, because in the event of a severe car accident and they take you in, they could very well use a contrast dye on you to find out what your injuries are.
That's a good point. It's in my chart when I go to the doctor.
I mean, nothing.
You're right. If you have an accident, yes, that's a good idea. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think before we started recording, I've had several people on the show that talk about their near-death experience, and they become psychic mediums after that, because I think it elevates you after you've gone through that. Your energy, your thinking, your soul, or whatever it does. And everybody talks about how beautiful it is, and they do want to stay. And you went through that pretty quickly, but I'm gathering that it was beautiful and you felt all this love and all that. You missed that part.
So, it's interesting. I used to tell people that the 2 things you take with you are love and knowledge, because I felt an overwhelming sense of love when I was there. But now that I do this work, I've learned that we take all of our feelings with us. So I brought many souls through that are in anger, remorse, many different emotions, sadness. So we take all of our feelings with us. And this is why everything's lumped into an NDE, because, your soul is way too big for this body. And we're not the suit that sits here. We are the energetic soul inside. So some of it's in your body, some of it's over your body that some people can see, and they call it an aura. And the majority of your soul is actually in that lowest level of heaven, that 5th dimension. And it orchestrates the timing of all the events in your life. And it holds all of the knowledge of all of your lifetimes. So when you get in touch with your soul, you're getting in touch with that part that's there that has all this knowledge. And it has a high vibration because it's in the 5th dimension. So if you were in a car accident or something, your soul would jump out of your body so that your soul is not being traumatized with all the feelings and all the pain, because you would feel that and take that with you. My brother was in a very bad car accident at 16, and he remembers standing on the sidewalk, watching the whole thing until the paramedics came, and then going back into his body. And my girlfriend, the same thing. She was hit by a deer through the side window and had brain trauma. But she is a devout Catholic and thought she did something wrong and couldn't go to heaven because she remembers her soul being stuck on the roof of the car. And she watched the soul of the dead deer go up into heaven, and she could see her body, but she stayed on the roof liner of the car until the paramedics came, and then her soul went back into her body again. So it's done to protect you, and those are near-death experiences. But it wasn't your time to die.
Yeah, and everybody talks about they have the choice. It's not your time yet. You choose to come back. All right. So when you came back into your body, what happened then? Did you decide to go through the surgery or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The surgery was fantastic. It was a major success. Yeah.
So you did go through.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You were no longer afraid.
No, because it wasn't a matter of fear. It was a matter of knowing. And so that's the difference. So when you have fear, that's your brain. We live in a 3D world and we have a brain in our head, which is a massive computer. That's all it is. It's here to process your information, but it has a specific job, and its job is to protect you. How does it do that? It does it by creating fear. Mm-hmm. So fear is coming from your brain. Knowing comes from your soul. And believe it or not, fear is the opposite of love, not hate. Fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you never feared, you just knew, and it turned out to be true. And then you did surgery, and how long after that did you start to be a medium?
So I was born with a lot of ability. I was born with a lot of ability. My youngest memory is about the age of 3. I woke up in the morning with someone calling my name, got out of bed thinking it was my parents, and they were asleep. And when I went back to bed, I noticed all these faces all around my room, and it scared the crap out of me. It's a very, very scary thing when you're a child. And I pulled the covers up over my head, and when the sun started to come up, I saw their shadow face literally in my face. Yeah, it was really frightening. And as I got older, I just knew everything that was going to happen. And I would tell my classmates in school, and I quickly got labeled a freak. So I stopped doing that. Right. But it was difficult, as a child. And then I tried the best I could to block my abilities out of fear, because that's what your brain does. It blocks it out of fear. And you would think after I died that would have been the time, but I wasn't ready yet. We planned this life and it just wasn't the time yet. Mm-hmm. So when it was about 10 years ago, I think I was going through a lot of difficulty in my business and going through a second divorce. And I went to have Reiki work done, which is energy work. And she recommended that I start meditating to relax. And I'm like everybody else, I can't shut my brain off to meditate. Are you kidding? I'm running 5 businesses right now and going through a divorce. And the first time that I tried it, it's like they kicked the door into the other side. She's ready. And then I couldn't shut it off. It was 1,000 times stronger than when I was a child. I was working as a medical esthetician in my business, and everybody that came through that door, I knew everything there was to know about them. It was freaky. And I was calling everybody I could find. How do I shut it off? Well, I don't know. Well, you're a medium. Don't you know how to turn it off? Well, I can't do that. I'm like, what do you mean? So I was grateful. I ended up finding 2 teachers to help me learn how to manage it, how to turn it on, how to turn it off, how to protect myself, things like that. And then my education just took over from the other side. I do have the ability to go back and forth to that lowest level of heaven at will, which is amazing. So I go back there often.
As we head into fall, I need to change my wardrobe from bright colors to fall colors. Luckily for me, Quince offered timeless and high-quality fall clothing I adore, ensuring my wardrobe stays fresh and seasonal. Like the gray cashmere tee I just purchased for $49, 50% off the regular price, or the black organic cotton maxi dress for just $69. All of Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I love that. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/Myrna for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/MYRNA to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Myrna. Are you struggling with excess weight and can't seem to lose it? For the past 20 years, that has been me. I was finally prescribed the GLP-1 weight loss shots about 2 months ago. It has been amazing. The first week, I lost 6 pounds. And since then, I've been losing about 1 pound a week. I have always worked out 6 days a week, and I still had a problem losing the weight. The only change I made was to cut down on my fat intake and take the weight loss shots. Introducing the Real Body Program. It provides access to the most popular weight loss shots on the market. The program pairs a weekly shot with healthy lifestyle changes. You can lose 15 to 20% of your weight in a year on average, and actually keep it off. Over 200,000 people have already chosen Ro to help them lose weight. Ro Body Program members have support throughout the process. If you have insurance, Ro's Partners handles all the insurance paperwork to help you get your medication covered. You can sign up online from the comfort of your own home. Go to ro.co/transform. Sign up today and you pay just $99 for your first month and $145 a month after that. Medication costs are separate. That website again is ro.co/transform. Wow, that's amazing. I love the story. I love listening to it. I, doing this work that I do, I've interviewed several people that have talked about that. I've even had a medical medium on the show that was able to tell people.
Yeah, I have that ability.
Well. You're a medical medium as well, right? I thought so. Because you said you're able to tell what's going on with the people that came into for the anesthetic.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I can scan somebody's body and tell them where the injuries are, what's going on. Yeah.
It's an incredible gift. It's an incredible gift. So I'm glad that you're able to manage it and you're doing the work right now because, you were given this gift in order to share and to help people.
It's kind of how I look at it. I came back for a reason. My kids are grown and, and that's, people ask me, oh, what about all the skeptics? It's not my job to convince anybody of anything. My job is just to tell you my story, help you if I can. And if I can't help you, then I can't help you. It's that simple.
Yes. Right. Yes, exactly. Wow. I love it. All right. So one of the other things you talk about is parapsychology. So you have formed a niche for your work with being a psychic, and your niche is helping, people with relationships. So you talk about this parapsychology, and we can use it to attract the right relationships. Now, you mentioned that you had 2 divorces, that your divorces help you to do this work?
So everything that I've gone through in my life has helped me in one way or another. But the reality of it is, we planned this life before we came here. People don't like to always hear that because they don't always like what's happening in their life. But if you don't like what's happening in your life, you really have no one to blame but you. A lot of times we're stubborn and we're not on the path we're supposed to be in. And at that point in time, the universe will step in and do something to put you back on the path you're supposed to be on. So, we're here, we come back here and reincarnate for, a few different reasons. One reason is a mini vacation because you're on the other side for about 350 to 400 years of our time before you decide to come back. We're also here to come back to experience things in a body that we can't on the other side. We can't touch and taste and smell things and have sex and all those things we can't do because we have to only live vicariously through other people when we don't have a body. And we're also here to advance our soul. And by doing that, there's 5 lessons that our soul has to learn in order to advance. And those are the lessons that I learned from putting all the people through the Relationship Mastery Program. So it only takes one person to make or break any situation because for every action, there's an equal or greater reaction. And when you change, everyone around you changes. So we're magnets. We're always either attracting or repelling at any given time. So you're attracting everyone that's on the same energetic frequency as you. Just like a radio station. You can't get the station unless you're on the right frequency, right? Everyone in your life is on the frequency that you're on. So if you want to change what's in your life, you have to raise your vibration. And when you do that, you'll find that people are either going to raise their vibration with you or they're going to fall off, and you're going to attract newer and better into your life. And this is where the law of attraction comes in. But everything in the universe has to stay in balance. This is why you have day and night, the sun and the moon, good and evil. And if you can't balance your energy, you won't be able to maintain the law of attraction either. You'll crash. And this is what happens. So it is a process. My relationship mastery program is a 7-week program because it takes 3 or 4 weeks of teaching in order to teach someone how to balance, how to shift, and how to balance their energy and how to maintain it.
Okay. That's great. Great information. So I like what you said about you attract people that's on your same frequency. I do a meditation that says, who I seek is seeking me. And I try to have a positive energy so that I can attract positive to me. So and it's not necessarily just relationships. It's anything in life that I want. So I understand what you're saying with that. So you had 2 divorces. So did you attract them because you attracted them because they're the same energy? Explain that to me.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no. Because again, we planned this life. So, my first husband, I believe, was a soulmate. And I could not have had my children with anyone else. So I had my 3 children with him. And then my second husband was definitely a karmic relationship, even though it lasted 20 years. I was very slow to learn my lessons, to be quite honest with you. But he taught me all 5 of my lessons.
Okay, so they had purpose. Okay.
Correct.
Right.
So there's 3 types of relationship: karmic, soulmate, and twin flame. And you have lots of karmics and lots of soulmates. And remember, everything is relationship. Even business is relationship. You're in relationship with your clients, your employees, your boss, your customers. You're in relationship with your family members, your friends, your church members, everyone you're in relationship with. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So a karmic relationship, they're to teach you something or you teach them. And it's a karmic relationship because it never quite feels right. You're always looking over your shoulder, waiting for the shoe to drop, looking for red flags. Okay. And as soon as one or the other learn the lesson, that relationship ends immediately. It's like you wake up one morning and you're like, why do I even have this person in my life anymore? If you've both learned the lesson, it ends amicably. If only one or the other has learned the lesson, it's going to end, but it's not going to be amicable. Okay?
All right. So before we go on to the other lessons, so karma.
Let's
explain that. Yeah.
You create karma in this lifetime. If you do something to someone else that you do not have remorse for and you do not make amends, then you owe that soul something in the next lifetime. And karma is never a bad thing because everything that is ever happening, nothing is ever happening to you. It's always happening for you, for your highest and best. Everyone, this side and the other side, believe it or not, is working for your highest and best for your soul. So, say you stole money from someone in a past lifetime and you didn't pay it back and you had no remorse for it. They're not going to come into your lifetime here and steal money from you. They'll probably come and be your boss and teach you the value of money. Money is energy. That's why it's called currency. Okay? This is how karma works. It's payback to a point, but it's always for your highest and best.
So when we have a karmic relationship, what does that mean?
They're there to teach you something. So you own them from a past lifetime. Suppose you owned someone in a past lifetime. And now in this lifetime, you want to know what it felt like. You don't know what it felt like. You don't understand why that person was so angry with you. So they're going to come into this lifetime and maybe they're going to cheat on you. Doesn't mean it's the end of the relationship, but you're learning your lesson. And maybe that taught you the value of the person that you were with. It's a lesson. It's always one of the 5 lessons. I'll go to the 5 lessons after I go through the 3 types of relationships.
Right. Okay.
So the second type of relationship is the soulmate relationship. And again, anybody can be your soulmate. Your dog can be your soulmate. You have lots of them. And soulmate relationship is same thing. It's meant to teach you something or you to teach the other person something, but it's also there to afford you some love and comfort along the way. And a soulmate relationship doesn't necessarily need to end when the lesson is learned. It really depends on what you wrote into your soul plan. Every relationship is not meant to last forever. Okay? And then you have the twin flame, and there's a lot of misinformation around the internet about twin flames. A lot of people will tell you everyone.
I mentioned that when I first read, because I've interviewed someone on the twin flame. Right. Okay.
Everyone does not have one. They are extremely difficult. They are not this romantic thing from the Notebook. A twin flame is literally one soul that splits into two and reincarnates into two separate bodies. And forever after, they will come back in two separate bodies as two separate souls, one half of the other. At some predetermined point in your life that you planned, you will meet. And when that happens, your entire world will get thrown out the window. Okay? They are always extremely passionate, extremely sexual, extremely psychic, and extremely brief. They will last from a few days to a few months. That's it. And when it's over, it's like you're ghosted, except that one person recognized the connection, the other did not. And for the person that recognized the connection, it tears your heart out, literally. And for the other person, they're constantly thinking of you. The psychic connection does not end. Now, the only way the two of you have an opportunity to get back together in this lifetime would be if you both learned the 5 lessons that you're here to learn for your soul to advance, and you get on the path that you're supposed to be on, because twin flames are here for a higher purpose. They're literally here to help humanity. So they have to get on that path. If they're both able to do that, they'll have an opportunity to reconnect in this lifetime. Otherwise, they'll have to wait till the next lifetime. Most of them do not reconnect in this lifetime.
Okay. Wow.
Very challenging. Very difficult.
So I'm hearing that there's karmic, there's soulmate, there's twin flame, but none of those ones seems to last forever.
Well, the soulmate can if you wrote that into your plan. If you wrote it into a plan.
Before you came here.
Correct. Yep. And then the 5 lessons that you're here to learn, the first one is self-worth. And self-worth is not value. Value is what other people place on you. Self-worth is understanding that you are so important, that you are the only one of you in this entire universe. Even if you're a twin, you want different things, you like different things, you have different fingerprints, you're different souls. Okay? And it is not selfish or narcissistic, as society would like to have you think, to put yourself first. It's where everything else comes from. If you cannot put yourself first, you're not going to be here to take care of anybody else, are you? It's that simple. And no one else has power over you. I can't look at you and make you fall in love with me. I can't look at you. No, only you have that power. You are the only person that can make you happy. When you get the perfect person in your life or you get the perfect job, that's not going to make you happy. You have to be happy first, and only you can make you happy. Then your happiness will ping pong back and forth, and you'll raise your vibration and bring other happiness into your life. That's the first lesson. The second lesson is trust and communication. You have to trust, first of all, there is a higher power. I don't care what you call it. There are, 34,000 Christian religions in the world. There's 176,000 religions just in the United States. Doesn't matter what you call it. There is one. Okay? There's only one.
Well, I think they all pray to one God. They just have different messiahs, or
you can call it whatever you want. There's only one. It's not, right. My God's better than your God. There's only one.
Only one God, right?
And you also have to trust that you created this plan. So whatever's happening in your life, you have to ask yourself why. What am I supposed to be learning from this? What am I supposed to be teaching from this moment? Why is this happening? And you'll be able to get that answer. You also have to be able to learn how to communicate your wants and your needs to the other people in your life. They don't know by osmosis what you want or you need. You have to communicate. And sex is just another form of communication. If you can't trust and communicate outside the bedroom, you're not going to trust and communicate inside the bedroom either. Then you have unconditional love. So unconditional love is not saying, oh, I better stay in this nasty relationship even though he beats me up every weekend because I'm supposed to be practicing unconditional love. This is where self-worth was going to kick back in again, because each lesson will keep reinforcing the other lessons. Self-worth, unconditional love is saying, listen, we had a really good run. It's not working any longer. It's time to go our separate ways. I want the best for you. I want the best for me. And it's meaning it when you walk away. It's not waiting until the weekend, meeting up with your mutual friends, and then bad-mouthing them. That's not unconditional love.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Do you schedule time for self-care? Or is it something you do when you have time for it? Is it a non-negotiable? Self-care for me is a non-negotiable. My self-care routine includes morning walks in nature or time at the gym. But sometimes our schedules are packed with kids' activities, big work projects, and more. It's easy to let our priorities like self-care slip. Making time for therapy is a form of self-care. But even when we know what makes us happy, it's hard to make time for it. When you feel like you have no time for yourself, non-negotiables like therapy are more important than ever. It's helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. It isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma, etc. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/TYM today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/TYM. Shopify is the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Usually, improvements don't come overnight, but once in a while, one small fix can catapult you to the next level. If your commerce platform is holding your business back, you owe it to yourself to see what Shopify can do for you. Whether you're a garage entrepreneur or IPO ready, Shopify is the only tool you need to start, run, and grow your business without the struggle. Shopify puts you in control of every sales channel. So whether you're selling satin sheets from Shopify's in-person POS system or offering organic olive oil on Shopify's all-in-one e-commerce platform, you're covered. And once you've reached your audience, Shopify has the internet's best converting checkout to help you turn them from browsers to buyers. Sign up for $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/transform, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/transform to take your business to the next level today. Let me interrupt there because my definition of unconditional love is loving someone regardless of what they do. Right?
That's the next thing.
It's like how parents do it. It's not based on what they do. You just love them like God loves us. So you're saying that unconditional love is unconditional love for yourself?
It's for everyone, not just for yourself. Like I said, you when you leave your partner, you don't leave them and say, oh, I'm going to hate your guts. You're terrible. No, you want the best for them. You want to love them so that they can have the best as well. Okay. Yep. And suppose you had a child that you loved unconditionally and they did something horrific, like murdering a neighbor in a fit of rage, and they go to prison for the rest of their life. Hopefully, you're going to still love your child, even though you don't like what they did. Okay.
Well, that's how I thought unconditional love.
But it's everything.
Unconditional love is walking away from someone that you figured So I'm thinking it's unconditional love for myself because I'm not going to stay in something that doesn't
Unconditional love starts with you.
Right.
Unconditional love starts with you, the same as self-worth. You've got to be able to look in that mirror and love you, whoever you are.
Okay.
You may not like some things about you, but you can change those things. But you should love yourself because everyone here is an individual. There's only one of you and you're here for a reason. You're wonderful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you can't learn that lesson, the universe will take it a step further. Maybe a drunk driver will take your child away from you. Are you going to now hate the drunk driver because he took your child? It's over. It's done. Clearly, your child must have written that into his plan that he wasn't going to stay here for long. And there's lessons there for everybody. There's a lesson for you, a lesson for the driver. I'm sure lessons for the medical people. There's lessons in everything. And as much as we hate to hear it, that's why we're here. It is why we're here.
Well, yeah, a lot of people spend their whole life hating. Yeah. I mean, I'm just remembering, I'm pretty sure you know O.J. Simpson, that the parents felt that he killed their child, and that was like 40 years ago, and he just died, and the hate's still there.
Well, I know the father was able to forgive. He went to church. He spent a lot of time in prayer, and he was able to forgive him.
Who? The father? Ronald Logan?
I think it was Nicole.
Nicole? Oh, okay. Yeah, Ronald Logan's father never did. Yeah. I mean, but I understand what you're saying. So, I mean, that's a really good example. That's
not an easy. No one said they were easy lessons,
right?
But you learn your lessons faster here than you do on the other side, and you learn them faster still within relationships. That's why we have them.
Right.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Then you have money and balance, and money is energy. That's why it's called currency. And it's what we use in this 3D world to show whether or not your life is in balance. And everything in the universe has to stay in balance. It has to be an equal exchange of energy. So you don't walk into a grocery store right now and plop down $1 million to get a gallon of milk, right? Equal exchange of energy. Not yet. This is why you get a certain wage for a certain, certain item. It's okay. So now if you're working 80 hours a week, your life is out of balance, isn't it? You have no time for your friends, your family, your own hobbies. And then if you're just saving your money and hoarding it away, again, you're going to be out of balance. And now self-worth kicks in because you don't have enough self-worth to spend the fruits of your labor on yourself either, right? Because money is energy, you have to put it out there. It has to flow like a river. What you put out will come back. You have to trust the universe. You're not meant to live a world of lack. No one is. Even a guy that's a beggar on the street who chose that life, if he wants a hot meal and a place to sleep, all he's got to do is ask. And I guarantee you someone will point him in that direction. The way the universe works is you do the work, you get the reward. It's that simple. And as soon as you ask on the other side from the angels, they're already working on it for you. And there's your last lesson, patience, because it comes in the perfect time. It comes when it's supposed to come, not necessarily when you want it. So let's say you're getting up there in years and your biological clock is ticking. You don't have any kids yet, right? Well, it's because clearly you planned it that way. Doesn't mean you're never going to. Maybe when you're 50, you're going to marry a man who's 50 who has young children and he's a widower and you're going to raise his children. You don't know what's coming up. And you're not supposed to know everything in your life. Otherwise, you wouldn't get out of bed in the morning. Your life would be too boring, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Patience is very difficult for people because we live in a world of instant gratification and everybody wants everything now. And how foolish would it be, right? Every little girl wants to get married, have a house. Patience. Wait until you're 18 or 19 at least.
Wow. Yeah, you're throwing so many things at me here now. My brain is scrambled. Yeah, it's pretty good information. So, all right. So we've got the karmic relationship, we've got the soulmate relationship, we've got a twin flame relationship. So someone is single and they're getting up in age and they want a relationship. Is there something that they could do you talk about shifting their energy to attract a partner? What can they do?
So I'll give you a great example. I had a woman that went through my program who she wanted the father of her child to marry her. He was a restaurateur in New York City, and he had already been divorced. And he did not want to get married. And the harder she pushed, the more she pushed him away, for crying out loud. So she went through the program, and law of attraction kicked in. And I actually have a video of her on my website. She got like 3 or 4 marriage proposals in the course of like 6 months. And lo and behold, one was from him.
I was just about to ask you that.
Yep, one was from him. But she got 3 or 4, you know? So when you put it out to the universe, you have to do your job. You can't put it out there that I really want to attract this wonderful guy who's, 6'2" and eyes of blue. And then you sit home on your couch all day and think that, the UPS guy or the pizza guy is going to be the guy. It doesn't work that way. You have to do your part. You do the work, you get the reward. You put it out to the universe, you go out about your business, and you attract that into your life. That's how it works.
So how do you do this? How do you put it out in the universe?
So this is, you do this through meditation and prayer, if you'd like. People that pray, you're asking the universe. When you're meditating, you're getting your answer. And when you meditate, you're raising your vibration, you're connecting to the other side. This is how it works.
Okay. So that's the work that you talk about. Well, yeah. Well, one of the things that I do energy work a lot because I understand that it's all about energy.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is the woman that wanted to get married, right? She did the energy work. She prayed. She meditated.
She raised her vibration.
Bible says, "Ask and you shall receive." That kind of thing. That's what she did.
So I also teach people how to work with angels. Angels are a completely separate race. Keep in mind, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You can't see the air you're breathing, but it exists. You can't see the microwaves cooking your food. It's cooking your food. Angels are real. They are a completely separate race. They were never human. Their entire existence is to help us. But there's rules on the other side, the same as there's rules here. And if you don't ask, they cannot help. You have to ask them. And when I first started doing this work, I felt guilty or not worthy to call on Archangel Michael to protect me. And that's his job. He literally came to me and said, "Do you remember how quickly you traveled when you were on this side?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "I travel that fast. I can be everywhere almost at once." He goes, "You're worthy. You are valued. You need to ask for me and I will protect you." It was just incredible.
So I know I'm very aware of Michael, archangels. What are the angels that we need to call? What is the angel we call on for relationships? Because we don't need protecting. We need.
So there's Chamiel, Archangel Chamiel, Archangel Metatron. There are so many archangels, and every archangel has a soul group, and you go through lifetime to lifetime with that soul group. And there's hundreds of millions of people in each of your soul groups. But there's angels to call on for everything, and they all have different jobs and can help you with things.
How do you find them? You go online and look for them?
You can, and there's books on angels. The best book on angel numbers is Doreen Virtue's first book from 1982. Don't buy her second book. Her first book, because she was the foremost authority on angel numbers. And then she married a Catholic man who told her that she was talking to the devil. So she put a book out on numbers that is just wrong on everything. Mm-hmm. So her first book, and angels are leaving you messages everywhere. People see repetitive numbers, 333, 111, 1234. Those are from the angels because they talk in numeric code and binary code. So those are messages they're trying to get to you to tell you that you're on the right path or you're not on the right path, or that they've heard you, they're working on it, different things. All this numerology, it all has different meanings, but it's all there to help you.
Yeah, I interviewed a girl with 11. She kept seeing the 1111 everywhere. And she calls it signs, though. So she didn't connect it with angels. She just called it signs.
It's angel numbers. So the 1111 actually means that they've heard you, they're working on it, and they don't want you to have fear. That's what the 1111 means.
Okay. I'm going to go get that book. I would like to work with angels. I think that I get inspiration from the Holy Spirit because, I'm a Christian, but maybe the angels are talking to me too.
That's not to everyone, because that's their job. And, when you're asking for something, I always get a parking spot. As soon as I pull into a crowded parking lot, can be the worst week of Christmas. My girlfriend was driving last time. We had 4 of us in the car. I'm like, okay, angels, I need a parking spot right in the front. And they're laughing. They're like, you're not going to get one this time. I said, stop the car. Stop. Just stop for a second, which she did. Boom. Car backed right out. We pulled right in. I'm like, there you go. Every time you ask, and we'll go back.
Confidence, yes. Whenever you know something, when you're expecting things, it always shows up, whether it's negative or positive. But I've learned that too. Whatever you expect, that's what you attract. So,
well, kind likes attract, right?
Yes.
Misery loves company. So,
right.
Get it out the door, let it go somewhere else. Raise your vibration and only bring the good things into your life. And your life will be amazing. And you'll see that all you'll get are good things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I definitely know, but I started learning about vibrations from Abraham Hicks. So, I know how important vibration is, and she talks about the vortex, and she talks about energy. And I'm still trying to understand quantum energy. I don't really get it, but I know it's there. Just to, and I'm glad for that little analogy that you used when we started our conversation about how fast you're
right. That's quantum physics.
Right. Yeah. How fast you're travel.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So
I can give you a real good one too. Then how about if you're in the woods and a tree falls down, does it make a noise? Does it make a sound?
So many times. I didn't even know the answer to that. But I heard that so many times. So what's the correct answer?
It does not. It makes a vibration. It can only be a sound if there's something there to pick up that vibration. It's energy. And this is why, so colors don't really exist either. We see color because of the way the light reflects off of an object and the way our eyes are shaped to pick it up. You have lots of colorblind people.
Yes. Yes.
Animals, that's why animals can see energy better than most people. I see energy. Most people can't. I remember when I was a kid, I used to be able to see the wind. I can still see it because it's energy. But when I was a kid, I was seeing it, and my sister thought I was crazy.
Well, I'm sure.
See it.
Right. Wow. All right. So so our topic today is how to change your energy to save your relationships. So what is the summary of that? Because we're talking about such great stuff, but I want to actually give someone that information. So how do they do that?
So the fastest way to raise your vibration, the highest, would be to meditate and get in touch with your soul and make sure you protect yourself first. Because when you open yourself up for the universe, you're opening yourself up to both good and evil. Okay? But that's the fastest way to do it because you're getting in touch with that part of your soul that's already in the 5th dimension at that very high vibration. But laughing, having a good time, love, being in love. Love is the highest vibration of all. So being in love is that feeling of it. These are all ways to raise your vibration. Laughing is a great way to raise your vibration. I love to laugh. These are all ways to do it.
Right. Okay. So you raise your vibration, you pray. Okay. So we did actually cover it. I'd forgotten it because we went on to so many different things. But once you do that, then you shift your energy. And what you're saying is that like attracts like. So let's break it down. So I'm in a higher vibration, but the man that I want to attract is not.
What's going to attract?
Fall away or what?
You're not going to attract him. You're not going to attract him.
Mm.
He's what you want. If he's who you want, you are not going to attract him unless you lower your vibration, which you don't want to do, or he somehow raises his vibration. So if you're already in a relationship, okay, because you're in such close proximity of that person, when you raise your vibration, you're on the same energetic thread. That person's vibration, if they're meant to be with you, will rise up, or they're just going to drop off. Okay. But if you're supposed to be with them, their vibration will come up. So what happens with my program is the other person is so interested on why the first person has changed so much and why the atmosphere has changed so much. They want to know what they're doing. So the second person is not allowed to take my program, but I allow the first person to teach the second person what I've taught them. And I have people now teaching their children. They send me videotapes of their kids because they didn't want their children to have to go through the struggle.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. All right.
And it's not when you want someone that's not on your vibration. You know, that's being stubborn. That's part of your lesson. They clearly are not meant to be in your life. You know, maybe you're just meant to help them from afar, or maybe at some point down the road, they will figure out their issues and their problems and raise their vibration.
Right. But they're also, like you said, maybe a karmic relationship. They're meant to teach you something.
Correct.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. So before we talk about your book, you've mentioned your mastery program a couple of times. You want to talk about that? How can people sign up for the mastery program? You know, what they get from that, or, you know, just talk about it for a minute.
7-week program, and it's a fully comprehensive program. So, you know, I go through divorce, separation, blended families, retirement, aging parents. It covers everything. But I teach you how to get in touch with your soul, how to raise your vibration, how to balance your energy, and how to maintain the law of attraction. And through that program, you learn all 5 of these lessons, which people will spend their whole life trying to learn. And the only thing, you know, the universe wants you to believe that you have free will, right? But the only free will you really have is whether or not you want to delay your lessons. So, for instance, the universe is going to offer you door 1, 2, and 3. You take door 1, you go through it, you get married, you have a couple of kids, you get divorced. Where are you going to be? In front of door 1, 2, and 3. If you didn't learn the lesson, you're going to be a creature of habit. You're going to take door 1 again. You're going to go through it, get married, have a couple more kids, get divorced again. You can do that your whole life and delay all your lessons. Or if you learned whatever lesson it was you were supposed to learn, unconditional love, patience, money and balance, whatever it was, you're not taking door 1 anymore. You're going to take door 2 or door 3. And you may still get married and have more children, but it's not going to end in divorce the way the first 2 did, because you learned that lesson. So again, some people can take their whole life, or, you know, I've taught it in 7 weeks and people have learned their lesson. But it's interesting. The program literally was put together with the angels. And I put hundreds of people through this program, one person at a time. And if you don't do it in a timely manner and in order, it doesn't work. You don't shift and you don't balance. You have to start the whole program all over again from the beginning. I've had people that have had to do it 2 and 3 times in order to shift and balance because they were jumping around, or they were waiting a week or 2 to do a module. You can't do that. When you do it in flow, then it clicks. You shift, you balance, and it's amazing. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So how can someone sign up for that?
So there is a free webinar that's on my website, juneedward.com, and it talks about energy and teaches you a little bit more about energy. And at the end of it, if you're interested in the Relationship Mastery Program, you can sign up for a free call with me, and we can talk about it and see if you're a good fit for the program.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing. You guys hearing that? Yes. It's amazing, especially if she just, you know, June just mentioned, if you keep going through door number 1, then this is for you, right? You know, you keep making
the same thing with money, especially now, right? With money, how come we don't have any money? I can't keep money. It doesn't come to me. It just all goes the other direction, right? You have to understand how it works, and then it will start flowing. It will always keep going.
Yes. If you keep, doing the same thing over and over again, and you know, they said that's the definition of insanity. You learn. Yes. Beautiful. But also you wrote a book, which I am definitely going to get, because it's probably got all this stuff in there I can read about. So
this one does. This is All's Fair in Love and Karma. This is actually my 4th book. I've written 4 books. So there are links to all of the books on my website, juneedward.com. My first book, A Night on the Other Side, actually has everything in it that I used to teach in mediumship and psychic development classes. So if anybody wants to improve their psychic development, because everyone's born with it, everyone has it, you can get that book and kind of learn from that book and learn how to meditate properly and raise your vibration. Okay. Yep. And then I have a journal on there as well for the destiny cards, which are the cards of the Magi. It's all, again, numerology and astrology combined.
Okay. Do you have a book on angels?
I do not. You know, I don't specialize in angels, even though I work with them. There are, you know, everyone has a different calling. My calling was to work with relationships. Other people, their calling is to work with, angels, or to work with numbers, or to work with, dark entities. That's not fine. Yeah. And
so
there are signs everywhere. So signs that are coming to you also are coming to you from either angels or guides. Anything out of the ordinary for you is a sign. If a turkey flies in front of your car, look up the spiritual meaning of a turkey and see what the message is for you. You'll be amazed at the messages they're sending you when something out of the ordinary happens.
Okay. Awesome. So your book is called All's Fair in Love and Karma. What is the message you want the readers to walk away with after reading? You said one of the life lessons is karma. Are you focusing on that life lesson in your book?
No, it details all the 5 lessons that you need to learn, but I think everyone can recognize pretty much all the relationships they've ever had in their life through those lessons. And be like, oh yeah, oh God, yeah, now I remember that guy. Oh yeah, now I know why that one happened. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Everyone will recognize themselves in the book.
Right. Okay. So what is the message that you want them to walk away with?
That they're here for a purpose. They're here to learn to advance their soul. We're not just here just for the sake of nothing else to do in the world. We're really here to focus on ourselves. And when you learn those lessons, everything in your life will start to fall into place. It's amazing.
You're right. Okay. All right. Yes, I love that. I mean, I had heard before that because I've interviewed someone regarding the Akashic records, and I've interviewed people talking about the soul's plan. I've interviewed people that remember all their past lives and things like that. So I already knew that that we have a soul plan.
Right. I read Akashic records. So your Akashic record is your book of life. And every religion talks about a book of life. And if you do a past life regression, it's different because that's you going under and you don't remember any of it. But when you have someone read your Akashic records, I get to see your life play out just like my past life, like on a big movie screen.
Okay.
And those records are kept in the 5th dimension, the lowest level of heaven. And it's absolutely amazing. And it's interactive. So if someone has something going on in this lifetime, they want to know why, we go back to the lifetime because you bring things through from lifetime to lifetime. I had one woman who had been married 3 times and every one of her husbands died. And she fell in love with a guy, wanted to get married again, and was afraid he was going to die on her.
Going to die. Right.
Went back in her Akashic records and found out that every one of her husbands in this lifetime that died, she had been married to in different lifetimes, and she never appreciated any of them. So it was like a little revenge.
It is.
And then she realized in this lifetime, she still didn't appreciate any of them. She came to that conclusion. Oh, wow. And she's like, I learned that. And she goes, I met this man. She goes, and I really, truly do appreciate him. I do. And she did end up marrying him. And to my knowledge, he's still this alive. Nothing passed yet.
Wow.
It's amazing how it fixes problems in this lifetime. You wonder why.
Right. Well, listen, I'm so, like I said, my mind is blown. You're talking about past relationships and thinking of the one that I'm in now. Where does it fit? So yes, very, very good information, June. Thank you very much for being on the show and expanding our minds on our soul's plan, on how we attract relationships. If we're in a relationship, how we keep it going by, improving our energy, and really, really good information here. And yes, June's program as far as mastery, it's an excellent program, especially if you want to be happy in love, because everybody is in relationships, but very few people are actually happy in them, right? And so if you want to be happy, if you want to have healthy relationships, if you want to understand your soul purpose and your soul plan, and just know the work that you're here to do, then definitely pick up a copy of her book and start. She has a free strategy session that you can give her a call and maybe sign up for a relationship mastery program. But don't
book an appointment with me too. I do lots of things. You can just book an appointment for a reading if you want to know what's going on.
Oh, you do readings too?
I do readings, numerology, astrology, Akashic records, destiny cards. Yeah.
Awesome.
And mediumship. If somebody wants to talk to somebody that's passed on to the other side, I can absolutely bring them through for you if you need closure or you just want to say hi.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow. I'm so glad to to have you on the show. Yes. And we're neighbors. Maybe I'll give you a call for some personal stuff. All right. So all right, guys. Well, listen, I thoroughly enjoyed learning from June today about all the things I didn't know, and hopefully you didn't know either. So yes, this is basically what this podcast is all about: transforming your mind so that you can transform your life. So today we talked about energy, and we talked about your soul's plan, and we talked about relationships and how to get the best. And I've learned from everything. I didn't know anything about the 3 types of relationships or the lessons that we're here to learn. New information for me. So I love it. And I'm glad to bring this content to you. If you're watching this on iTunes, would love for you to, subscribe and leave a review. If you're watching this on YouTube, would love for you to hit the subscribe button and also get in the conversation. Leave a comment, on relationships that you think you've had, whether you think which was your soulmate or your twin flame or your karmic relationship. That's amazing. I don't think I've ever had a twin flame relationship. So I'm sure I've had the other two. Yeah. So thank you, June. This was eye-opening. So as we wrap up, any last words?
Again, love is the highest vibration. So practice that more and stop becoming the magnet again and attracting more of that into your life and putting yourself first.
Yes. Beautiful. Yes, I know that one. And I think there was a meditation that I was doing from Deepak Chopra that he said, be love, right? Embody it, because that's, the highest.
You are. Your soul is energy. Yeah, yes. That's who you are.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, listen, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life. I appreciate you. I send love to you. That's what I do. I bring you these wonderful guests so that you can transform your life. So thanks again for tuning in. Thank you, June, for being on the show. Until next time, namaste.